All right. Welcome to Inflation and Deflation Part 2. How to predict inflation and deflation. In The answer isn't that hard. Basically, is the demand going up or is the supply going up? And also the reverse, is demand going down or supply going down? Um, and so to to answer that, that's all you really need to know. But in practice, it's a lot more complicated. What are all the factors that influence the increase in supply or increase in demand or decrease? Um, so usually throughout the day, there's like daily fluctuations. Um, um, let's let's just so because throughout the day there might be times where people aren't farming a certain item. Like at nighttime, there's not as many people doing dungeon runs, so the price of dungeon gear might go up at night. I mean, that's just an example. There's usually about two or three fluctuations throughout the day that cause the price to go a certain way. Let's look at wither chest plates. Right now it says 53 million. That's kind of low. Like if you keep your eye on daily fluctuations, then you'll know that the wither chest plate usually hits a low of around 51 million right now and hits a high of around 57. So if you were to buy it at 57, you're spending 6 million more than you would if you bought it during the low of the day. And that's just a daily fluctuation. There's other factors to consider. Um, and that's just every single item will have daily fluctuations, and usually there's like three throughout the day. But the other things to consider, it's not too many. There's three things. There's events, there's mayors, and there are updates. And I guess a fourth would be hype, so YouTube videos. But let's go over each of them individually. Events. Okay, so you have an event, and that usually increases supply. For example, during the Spooky Festival, you're going to have a lot more people crafting spooky items. So the supply of spooky items is going up, so the price goes down. The New Year's celebration, if I were to try selling my baby Yeti, I would want to sell it now because um, in a day from now, the season of Jerry event starts, and then people will be able to farm baby Yetis, thus increasing supply. So the price is going to go down. But then throughout the week, when the Jerry event isn't going on, there is no increase in supply, so the price goes up throughout the week. And the best time to usually sell it would be the day before. Usually, you don't have to worry about too much in advance. So we have the mayors. I don't know why Mayor Paul's a woman, but we have the mayors. For example, Paul is going to influence dungeons. Like Marina, you'll see the price of fishing items go down because the supply is increasing. Aatrox, you'll see the price of Slayer items go up because the need for Slayer items goes up because people want to do Slayers. And it's the same for every mayor basically. So you have the mayors, and then you have updates. So updates, for example, there's going to be a mining update, and this mining update is going to probably get people wanting to start mining, and that's going to be in like 2 weeks from now. So you might see the price of mineral gear go up. So this is just an example. Let's look at refined minerals. So right now it's 348. I wonder what that's going to be in 2 weeks from now. Maybe it'll be 500. And so the other thing I'm going to note is that's natural deflation or natural inflation. Just like that's like, then there's like an artificial where people try to force a price up or down. And that will be very temporary if people try to do that. So let's look up a potato talisman, for example. Like over time, it's slowly inflating, but people might see like only one page of potato talismans and decide to buy them all. thus having this seems really high right now, but thus having forced the price up, but it might only last for a couple hours, because a lot of people, there are them in circulation, but it hasn't but then the price will go back down because it was forced up there, but it's not actually the price it's supposed to be at naturally. So you'll see this with Bitcoin in real life. So a lot of people, so for example, Bitcoin has a lot of artificial inflation because there's a lot of people generating information about Bitcoin to cause people to buy it. But then when they want to sell out, they'll either give bad news or give no news. Thus, people aren't as interested in Bitcoin, and then it'll crash again. I mean, and so that kind of concept works for YouTube videos. You'll have YouTube videos that might promote a certain item, saying how great it is and how everybody needs it, and then everybody starts buying it just because the demand goes up because of the YouTube video. Same can happen in reverse. A YouTube video says an item's crap, and then a lot of people will get rid of it. And so yeah, that's how that can influence inflation and deflation. For the most part, YouTube videos, you don't need to pay attention too much unless it's actually giving you proper information like updates. If you want proper information like updates, then you could watch a streamer or a YouTuber called Durelius, and he pretty much gives you all the updates, and he'll usually post a video a day just informing people of updates that are happening in Hypixel. So yeah, I guess overall that's the whole video. So is supply increasing? Is demand increasing? Pay attention to, well, what's the daily fluctuation? And then is there an update that might influence an item's supply or demand? Is there an event that might influence an item's supply or demand? Is there a mayor that's influencing an item's supply or demand? And if you can consider all the variables, then you'll pretty much be able to predict an item's increase or decrease. Now, I don't know. So, for example, you might have thought the recombobulator would have gone down because it's going to be cheaper during this event, but the demand for it went up as well because a lot of people want to craft their floor 7 gear because a lot of people are buying floor 7 gear during this event. So you might think it's going to go down and then realize later, oh, there's another variable I didn't consider. And that's kind of usually the mistake you might make. But and if you make the mistake, you just have to think about it more and then realize, oh, I didn't consider this variable. And then you'll understand even better why the supply or demand went a certain way. So that's how you predict inflation and deflation. And by doing so, you can buy, by doing so, I could buy like 5 baby Eddies during the Jerry event for 30 million and then wait 4 days and sell them all and make $20 million just by doing nothing, just because I knew, oh, it's going to inflate or deflate. By doing that, I could look at wither chest plates and, oh, it's only 50 million right now. I'm going to buy that and craft it now and then make a 10 mil profit instead of buy it when it's 57 and make a 2 mil profit after crafting it. So like daily fluctuations, I could be looking at events. Oh, let me sell my black cat before the event starts. That way, when the event starts, I won't have lost $4 million on it. Things like that. And that's usually what I think about when I'm thinking about the effects of inflation or deflation. Now, there's an extent. Like if you're at a certain point, there's some items you might want to keep, and then don't worry about inflation or deflation, because if you want the item, just keep the item. But then if it's going to be a factor that's going to influence the price a lot, for example, when they fixed pet luck, um, and they let you combine pet luck and magic find on ender dragons, I considered selling my pet ender dragon because I knew, oh, that's going to decrease the price. But I didn't end up selling it. And so ender dragons dropped from, let's see what they're at now. Ender dragons dropped to 240 million. Yeah, $240 million. And yeah, well, even that seems kind of cheap, actually. I might buy that. Well, anyway, yeah, when I was considering selling it, it was at $400 million, and I was like, well, maybe it'll go back up. But you know what? Like, that was $160 million loss just because I didn't act out on what I knew would influence inflation or deflation. So yeah, you should, like, for the most part, I'm not going to sell my baby Yeti, just because it would be a hassle having to buy it and sell it over again, especially just for a 2 mil profit. But I might do it with things that have big influence, like that Ender Dragon that I showed you, or events, or mayors, or highs and lows. Anyway, thanks for watching episode 2. I know this one's a lot more in depth. Hopefully it's good information. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Dave plays guitar on Twitch, David Gaming YouTube. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, all that.